Welcome back to the channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. Today is a beautiful Tuesday, but things are getting incredibly ugly on our favorite soap, and I am absolutely here for it. We have rogue cops, fake drownings, fugitive kingpins, and enough secrets to blow up the entire town. Grab your coffee, because we have so much to unpack right now. I cannot believe they actually did that. I mean, we all saw Willow Tate throw herself into that literal 2-foot Quartermain fountain like she was plunging off the side of the Titanic, but watching Harrison Chase actually arrest his own grandmother-in-law? I am screaming. I have been watching General Hospital for years, and this has to be one of the most unhinged, hilariously absurd things I have ever witnessed. Jane Elliott deserves an Emmy just for the look of pure, unadulterated disgust on Tracy's face when those cuffs clicked. And Willow, sitting there, acting like a traumatized victim over a scraped knee while completely soaked. It is pure soap opera gold, but I'm so frustrated with Chase I could throw my remote at the television. Can we talk about Harrison Chase for a second? Because I am officially done defending this man. He drags Tracy into the PCPD, and ADA Justine Turner absolutely rips into him, as she should. Justine has been warning him for weeks not to step out of line. And what does he do? He goes rogue and arrests a Quartermain matriarch without Willow even filing a formal complaint. And then, the absolute audacity of Chase to stand there, looking smug, and spin things around on Justine. He actually accuses her of being incapable of being fair when it comes to cases involving Willow. Like, excuse me? Are you kidding me right now? Chase is so blinded by his lingering feelings for his ex-wife that he cannot see he is destroying his own marriage to Brooklyn. He is playing right into Willow's hands. And the worst part is, he thinks he is being the hero. He thinks he is rescuing the damsel in distress. But the only person in distress here is Brooklyn, who is watching her husband play white knight to the woman who has caused their family nothing but grief. I know some people are loving this messy triangle, but personally, I am just exhausted by Chase's lack of brain cells. Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's back up and talk about Michael Corinthos, the puppet master himself. Michael sits Willow down and delivers this very serious, very ominous warning about feuding with Tracy. He tells her that going up against someone that fierce can only end in disastrous news for her. But we all know what Michael is really doing here. He is playing the concerned partner while actively setting a cheating trap for her and Chase. He wants Willow to feel isolated. He wants her to lean on Chase. He is orchestrating this entire disaster so he can blow up Brooklyn's marriage and push Willow right back into Chase's arms. Remember when Michael was the moral compass of the Corinthos family? Yeah, didn't work then either. Now he is just as manipulative as Sonny, but he wraps it up in this nice, corporate, good guy package. It is infuriating, but it is also brilliant television. I am dreading the moment Brooklyn finds out about the trap, but I am also completely here for the explosion it is going to cause. Because when Tracy finds out Michael was pulling the strings, oh, the Quartermain mansion is going to burn to the ground, and I have my popcorn ready. Okay, back to the point. Let's switch gears and talk about Carly and Valentin Cassadine, because the romantic tension here is literally off the charts. Carly wants to reach out to Sonny for assistance in finding Jocelyn, who we know is locked in that terrifying Windermere sub-basement. But Valentin? He completely rejects the Sonny Corinthos scheme. He turns her down flat. And why? Because Valentin wants to be the one to help Carly. He wants to be her hero. He is willing to put his own freedom on the line to make that happen. Do you understand the stakes here? Valentin is a fugitive. If he steps out of the shadows, if he reaches out to his WSB operative, Contact Z, like Jack Brennan suggested, he risks going straight back to Steinmauer. But he is willing to do it for Carly. I mean, I have been a fan of Valentin since he first showed up on Cassadine Island, and this is the most vulnerable, devoted version of him we have ever seen. I know some fans miss the ruthless Valentin, but this star-crossed lovers dynamic with Carly is giving me everything I need. Meanwhile, across town, Nina Reeves is proving once again that she is the only person in Port Charles with actual deductive reasoning skills. Nina is freaking out over Liesl Obrecht because she cannot get in touch with her. And we, the audience, are sitting here screaming at our screens because we know exactly where Mama Obrecht is. Ross Cullum had her drugged, kidnapped, and dumped onto a couch in the Windermere cell right next to Jocelyn to replace Britt on the Cold Fusion project. It is sick, it is twisted, and Kathleen Gotti is acting the absolute house down. So Nina corners Nathan West, who we all know is actually Cassius, Nathan's secret twin, and starts grilling him. She quizzes him about when he last spoke to Liesl, and Cassius starts squirming. Ryan Pavey is doing such a fantastic job playing this deeply conflicted, completely in over his head character. Cassius deceives Nina about Obrecht's hostage status, looking her right in the eye and lying through his teeth. The tension in that scene was palpable. You could see the sweat forming on his brow. Nina knows something is wrong. She is a bloodhound when it comes to her family, and Cassius is leaving a trail of red flags a mile wide. But Cassius does not stop there. Oh no. The absolute nerve of this man. After lying to Nina, he strolls over to the Metro Court Gardens and approaches Laura Collins and Lulu's table. And what does he do? He apologizes for Jen Sidwell's getaway. I had to pause the episode because I was laughing so hard. Cassius, honey, you literally uncuffed Sidwell during transport, urged him to flee the country, and then faked being beaten up by his goons so you wouldn't get caught. And now you are standing in front of the mayor and the mother of the child who is currently on the run, playing the victim? He hides the fact that Sidwell forced him to let him escape. He gives him this half-truth, acting like he was just overpowered. And the craziest part is that Dante Falconeri is actually defending him. Dante, the best cop in Port Charles, is defending the guy who let a kingpin walk out of police custody. I am telling you right now, Dante has to be playing a long game. There's no way he is this blind. If Dante is actually falling for Cassius's act, I am going to write a strongly worded letter to the writers. But let's talk about Laura's reaction. Because Jeannie Francis is a national treasure. Lulu gets a comment from Laura to publish in The Invader, and Laura gives this incredibly polished, very politic answer about looking forward to seeing Sidwell brought to justice. It is exactly what you expect from Mayor Collins. But then, off the record, Laura leans in and admits she absolutely hates Sidwell. She calls him a thug and says she is glad other people are finally starting to see him for what he truly is. Yes, Laura, let the anger out. And that prompts Lulu to make an admission of her own. Lulu confesses that she wishes Sidwell had faced a fatal outcome. And honestly, am I the only one who completely agrees with her? Sidwell has terrorized this town for months. He shot Lucas Jones twice in the chest, thank God for that bulletproof vest, and he has driven Britt and Rocco into hiding. Lulu is terrified for her son. She is exhausted, and she is done playing by the rules. I am so here for this darker, more ruthless version of Lulu. There is another storyline that completely broke my heart today. Emma Scorpio Drake going on a frantic hunt for Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Emma is at the Quartermain boathouse in her swimsuit, and she realizes Gio is missing. And she just panics. And if you have been watching this show for a long time, you know exactly why. Emma is carrying the trauma of her grandmother, Anna Devane's kidnapping. When someone she loves goes missing, her mind immediately goes to the worst case scenario. She eventually finds him, and it turns out Gio is just practicing for Trina Robinson's showcase somewhere. He is so eager to support Trina and be the best he can be as he accompanies her. It was such a sweet, innocent moment amidst all the darkness and kidnapping and mob wars. But it also highlights the collateral damage of living in Port Charles. These kids cannot even have a normal day at the boathouse without having a panic attack, because the threat of violence is always hanging over their heads. And speaking of the threat of violence, we get a brief glimpse of Alexis Davis and Rick Lansing putting their heads together and going over some plans. Whenever these two legal eagles are in a room together, you know something massive is about to drop. Are they figuring out a way to get Curtis Ashford out of his felony assault charges against Isaiah Gannon? Or are they plotting a way to legally dismantle Jen Sidwell's empire? Whatever it is, I am ready for it. I love seeing Alexis back in her element, strategizing and fighting the good fight. Because the search for Sidwell is continuing, and the man is a ghost. He is hiding in plain sight, laying a new trap, and nobody is safe. Not Sonny, not Laura, not Lucas. Sidwell is the most compelling villain we have had in years. He does not just use muscle, he uses psychological warfare. And with Cassius secretly working for him, he has an inside man at the PCPD. The tension is unbearable. I keep thinking about Jocelyn and Liesel down in that cell. Jocelyn has Anna's makeshift weapons. Liesel has the knowledge to stall the Cold Fusion project. They are two of the strongest women on the canvas, and I am predicting right now that they are going to team up and take Ross Cullum down themselves. I know some people are loving the idea of Valentin or Sonny swooping in for the rescue, but personally, I want to see Jocelyn and Liesel claw their way out of that basement and make Cullum pay. We are hurtling toward a massive climax. The cheating trap with Willow and Chase, the kidnapping at Windermere, the fugitive Rocco and Britt, the escaped Kingpin Sidwell. Every single storyline is connected, and the powder keg is about to explode. I am typing this up late at night, my adrenaline is still rushing, and I just needed to get all these thoughts out of my system. General Hospital is firing on all cylinders right now, and if you are not watching, you are missing out on peak soap opera television. So, what do you guys think? Is Valentine gonna end up back in Steinmauer? Is Chase ever gonna wake up and see what Willow is doing? And how long can Cassius keep up this ridiculous charade before Nina exposes him? Let me know, because I am going to be obsessing over this until the next episode airs. Port Charles is in absolute shambles, and we are seated for every single second of it.